Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so very much for tuning in. Roger Stone has been indicted by the Mueller probe. I'll explain why that is absolutely ridiculous. I will explain why that's absurd. I will explain why it's self-inflicted to an extent by Mr. Stone. And I'll explain why there's absolutely zero link between President Trump and any bizarre fantasy from the Democratic Party that was purchased by Hillary Clinton through the Steele dossier and actually debunked to a great extent by BuzzFeed. But I was on RT's Crosstalk, and you have to go ahead and check this out. This is the segment. Share this segment everywhere. It's about Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Share the segment. And it was a really great time. Oh, no, that's not it. That's that's CNN. Why I always okay, so no, that's CNN. Here's the segment. Here's the segment. So here is the Crosstalk segment on Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. They have nothing on Roger Stone. Most of what happened with Roger Stone is self-induced. Awesome segment on RTHA sharing. So Eric H526, thank you. This is my RT segment talking about Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, and it was a great discussion. Share that everywhere. Ladies and gentlemen, they have nothing on Roger Stone. Let me just read you, because most of it is self-induced. He stated that he was so close to certain people. He talked himself up. And also there is a desperate effort to link Trump and WikiLeaks and Russia and the hack that never happened of the DNC. This is a fantasy that they know doesn't exist. So if they can keep the story alive with some possible connections. So money flowing into the Clinton Foundation from Uranium One CEO and then a Uranium One deal taking place. There's no link. Bill Clinton meeting with Vladimir Putin, Hillary Clinton transferring top secret intelligence, we still don't know how, onto an unencrypted server to hide her pay-to-play schemes. With no link. No link at all. Absolutely no link at all. You cannot have a link. Do you understand? You cannot put two and two together with Hillary Clinton, even though it's obvious 85 donors gave $156 million into the Clinton Foundation to meet Hillary Clinton. It's obvious that UBS and Boeing and all the money they took from Haiti, the $10 billion they raised that the people of Haiti never saw, all of that pay-to-play scheme. We know from the Podesta emails alone, Clinton could get indicted. Both of them, Bill Clinton Inc. But I'll read you this. Look, this is the New York Times. The special counsel Robert S. Mueller revealed on Friday that the most direct link between the Trump campaign and WikiLeaks' parallel effort to use Democratic material stolen by Russians to damage the election campaign of Hillary Clinton. Okay, number one, we have no clue. We have no clue if the DNC was hacked by Russia. So that's number one. This is shoddy journalism as usual from the New York Times and the Washington, but we have no clue. CrowdStrike is the only company, the only entity to look at DNC servers. CrowdStrike gave copies and images of DNC servers to the US government. CrowdStrike was outsourced by the Democratic Party. Why on earth would anyone trust CrowdStrike? Why on earth would anyone trust CrowdStrike? That makes absolutely no sense. So why on earth? You cannot say that something happened when the NSA is only moderately confident. You can't say that something happened when the NSA is only moderately confident. So That's number one. Number two, the issue is that the Democratic Party cheated Bernie Sanders. Now, the longer this goes, the more resentment I have towards Bernie Sanders. Because the one person who could say, yeah, I was cheated, and I'm not going to forget that I was cheated, and I'm not going to forget that everything I stood for was taken, thrown into an incinerator, and then they told me that I had to play ball again. And then they told me I had to perpetuate a myth, and he knows very well it's a myth. So, I mean, I can go on forever about Bernie Sanders. He got so many people to truly believe that he would fight the system, and he became the most pathetic tool of the system that he claims to fight. In an indictment unsealed Friday, the special counsel disclosed evidence that a top campaign official in 2016 dispatched Roger J. Stone. Well, that's irrelevant. Let's say they did. Let's say Manafort. Stone might have known Manafort. Who cares? A longtime advisor to President Trump to get information from WikiLeaks. That could be the case too. The issue is that Roger Stone didn't know WikiLeaks. WikiLeaks did not need Roger Stone. How do I don't know anything like personally, okay? I have no inside knowledge. I have no knowledge from message boards. I have no knowledge from anyone at WikiLeaks. I don't have any knowledge, even though I have supported WikiLeaks, and I will continue to support Julian Assange forever because he is a hero. Julian Assange has retweeted my video, a couple of my videos, or no, my video. WikiLeaks has retweeted numerous videos, articles that I've written. And I'm very proud of that. They actually retweeted a Times of Israel article that I wrote just recently stating that Julian Assange is a tzaddik, which is a Hebrew word for a holy person, a person who does good deeds. To get information from WikiLeaks about thousands of hacked Democratic emails, we have no clue if they were hacked. We have zero clue if they were hacked. First of all, Kim.com speaking to, this is how we know this is a bunch of nonsense. Kim.com and I don't usually take, now, Kim.com speaking to a Bloomberg reporter. Kim.com, Bloomberg, just type, here, I'll give you the link right now. Kim.com, Bloomberg, 2014, Hillary worst nightmare. Okay. Kim.com, Assange will be Clinton's worst nightmare. Okay. This Bloomberg was published May 14th, 2015. The interviewer asked basically about Hillary Clinton's emails, or no, in 2015, May of 2015, Kim.com stated, here's the link. In May of 2015, all Roger Stone needs to do to defend himself is just say, look, in 2015, they were already alluding to issues that would be presented by WikiLeaks. Kim.com stated that in a Bloomberg 2015 that Assange will be Hillary's worst nightmare, and he talked about a surprise in terms of the campaign. He was referring almost certainly to the email. So, I mean, it's like, look. Roger Stone, this was a self-inflicted wound because Roger Stone said he knew WikiLeaks, he knew Julian Assange, he knows Trump, and he's this big guy, da-da-da. That's what the Q people are doing. I know this, I know that. Then when Mueller, they're going to reach the bottom of the barrel and they'll start indicting Q people. And then the Q people will say, I didn't know anything. It was just a farce. I had no evidence. Watch the H.A. Goodman debate. There was no evidence. I said there was no evidence. I wasn't certain. Wrong. You try to fabricate. You try to deceive people. You're going to get it in the end by people who have nothing but the desire to prove. It's like one fabricated story is proven by other not proven, but one fabricated story utilizes the fabricated story of Roger Stone. Everything's fabricated. Roger Stone WikiLeaks doesn't need Roger Stone or anyone else. There are no quote unquote intermediaries. That's not how they work. They had a site and they publish it. They post it and they spread it through Twitter or their website. That's not how WikiLeaks works. They don't need Roger Stone or anyone else or Corsi or anyone else. So this is self-inflicted. Julian Assange is a hero for telling the truth. We teach our children to tell the truth. Our society is based on trying to tell the truth. Then you have Hillary Clinton, who lies infinitely more than Trump ever did in his life, which could be a lot. And they're like, oh my God, Trump lies. Yeah, he didn't have a private server with top secret intelligence. Well, who cares about that? Well, yeah, that's actually William Barr eventually is going to discuss all of this. To my super chat, thank you so very much. You give me every incentive to rock these live stream. In 2015, there was a Bloomberg interview. In 2015, Stone did nothing wrong. That's not my point. Of course he did nothing wrong. What he did was perpetuate a myth that he was an intermediary with WikiLeaks. That's what he did wrong. Of course he did nothing wrong. I 100% agree with you. He did absolutely nothing wrong in terms of being an intermediary or working with the Russians or whatever. But what he did wrong was try to pretend that, he was the man and all that stuff. It's self-inflicted. Do you understand? It's self-inflicted. When you try to perpetuate, when you try to market yourself as something you're not, and then there's another parallel universe that is trying to market themselves, but they're the government, and they're lying too, but they're the government. Then you have two fantasy worlds colliding, and one fantasy world's going to lose. In an indictment unsealed Friday, the special counsel disclosed evidence that a top campaign official in 2016 dispatched Roger J. Stone. So what? A longtime advisor to President Trump. That could be the case that he knew somebody within Trump's administration. So what? He knew Trump also. So what? To get information from WikiLeaks about thousands of hacked Democratic emails. No. Because at that point, everyone knew, because WikiLeaks had been saying, look, there will be a big revelation. Even Kim.com knew. So what they're saying, when Roger Stone says, oh, you just wait, everyone was saying that. And actually, I think it was when the DNC or when the Podesta emails hit, when one of the people were making fun of them, the left was making, like, the Democratic Party was making, or Democratic publication, oh, that's it. The effort began well after it was widely reported that Russian intelligence operatives were behind the theft. Who cares if it was widely reported? That is not evidence, which was part of Moscow's broad campaign to sabotage, to do that. No, the election was never sabotaged, ever. In 2015, I said Clinton could not win. The indictment makes no mention of whether Mr. Trump played a role, because he didn't. Though Mr. Mueller did leave a curious clue about how high in the campaign, a senior campaign official was directed by an unnamed person to contact Mr. Stone about additional WikiLeaks releases. So what? That might damage the Clinton. So what? That is not even illegal. That is not even illegal. Even if that were true, it's not illegal. Even if Trump asked Roger Stone, no, I don't blame the victim for government tyranny. The victim here lied about his interaction with WikiLeaks. Do you think Roger Stone knew WikiLeaks? No, he did not. He did not. It's self-inflicted. He didn't do anything wrong, but like in terms of Russia collusion, but he pumped himself up to the point. Same with the Q people. That's why, I mean, that's why William Barr has to flip the script, because Mr. Stone was charged with 7 counts, including obstruction of an official proceeding. Okay, here, making false statements and nothing to do with Russia collusion. Mr. Mueller did not say Mr. Stone's interaction with WikiLeaks were illegal. Of course they were. They wouldn't have been even if they were true, nor that the Trump campaign engaged in any criminal conspiracy within the organization. Okay, so there you go. Mr. Mueller did not say that Mr. Stone's interactions with WikiLeaks were illegal, nor that the Trump campaign engaged in a criminal conspiracy with the organization. There you go. And actually, the FBI agents arrested Mr. Stone before dawn, appearing in his Fort Lauderdale home with ballistic vests and guns drawn. Agents typically use those tactics as precaution to secure possible evidence. Here we go. Where's the special counsel against Clinton? Okay, where's the FBI taking away Brian Pagliano or Uma Abedin, or once he's out, Anthony Weiner again? Where are all these people? Where's the FBI? Where's the special counsel? Where's the DOJ for an overt pay-to-play scheme? For a special, for a server that was utilized to transfer a special access program intelligence? Where's the enthusiasm, the passion, the zealotry? It's just, where's the fanaticism? Where's the fanaticism? You have Clinton's law firm paying for everything. I mean, you have all of this nonsense, and it's like people believe in like message boards, like, oh my God, you're eventually there's going to be Gitmo. Ain't going to be no Gitmo. There won't be Gitmo. There won't be. It's a question mark as to whether Trump fights back, but I think he will. Nothing is a plan. There are no intelligence officers speaking to anyone. I exposed this a while back. Fisher of Men. Got to get my daily dose of G, my favorite constant. Thank you, Fisher of Men. Fisher of Men, thank you. Fisher of Men, thank you. Look, all of this, the coyote, yes. All of this is an example of one fantasy meeting another fantasy. I'm not saying Roger Stone deserved it. Please don't I'm saying that when you live in a fantasy world, look, when I said Clinton would lose in 2016, I didn't say that, I knew this because I have some inside source. No, Clinton lost in 2016. When I say the Russia myth is complete rubbish, and I stated that in the beginning of 2017, for 2 years I've been saying that. Thank you again, Fisher of Men. Thank you. Roller the Coaster, he could compose, but, and that's true. Roller the Coaster, that's true. But Stone, the more look, at this point right now, the Mueller probe is being flooded with disinformation from even BuzzFeed. At this point right now, it's just so much fantasy. Meanwhile, Clinton is she won't eventually because she committed major crimes, but seemingly getting away with everything. Seemingly getting away with absolutely everything. Now, there has to be a special counsel. William Barr is going to be in the beginning of February. William Barr will be sworn in. William Barr will be sworn in, and there has to be a special counsel soon after. There has to be a special counsel or some kind, because the thing is, I mean, they're indicting people based on a fantasy, a government-run fantasy. He posted a $250,000 bond, was ordered to surrender his passport, and agreed to appear in federal court in Washington later. Afterward, outside the court, Mr. Stone vowed to beat the investigation, which he called politically motivated. There was no circumstance whatsoever under which I will bear false witness against the president, nor will I make up lies to ease the pressure on myself. Nice. So he's like letting President Trump know, hey, buddy, like I'm gonna hook you up. I'm gonna hook you up. I'm not gonna do a Michael Cohen. So, try not to diss me on Twitter, and maybe you can, hook me up with a pardon if he gets convicted. But I look forward to being fully and completely vindicated. Stolen DNC emails. Why were the DNC emails that show Bernie Sanders was cheated? This bothers me. This makes me resent Bernie Sanders a lot more than I already do. You're at the center of all of this nonsense, Bernie. Why don't you just come out and say, look, I was cheated. I was not part of a Russian plan. The Russians didn't hack the DNC. Bernie Sanders knows the Russians didn't hack the DNC. He knows very well. That's why, fight the oligarchy, man. That's why, like, when Humanist Report and Kyle Kulinski and Cenk Uygur, when they're like, we have to fight the oligarchy, and I am so morally superior to you. But they never defend Julian Assange. They never call out Bernie Sanders for perpetuating a ridiculous myth that Russia hacked the DNC. That's stupid. That's so absurd you would never even believe it. Most rational people don't believe it. But where's Bernie Sanders in all of this? He's not going to get Medicare for all, okay? They don't even have a bill. I explained this in my Crosstalk appearance. They're not even serious. What Bernie did, what he should have done if he really cared about, oh my God, protecting people, if he really cared, he could have simply said, look, you cheated me. I am not endorsing Hillary Clinton, who's the antithesis of me. And until you ensure that you will never cheat anyone again, I'm not playing ball. Here's my RT segment again. It's just, so share my RT segment. You're not going to fight people in power when people in power are utilizing your quests for Medicare for all or abolishing ICE. They are pretending they care about progressive issues while at the same time fomenting the most dictatorial plot, which is that Russia interfered. Do you think the 1% benefits by this? Yes. What do you think Democrats really care about? They care about one thing only, political power. Do you think they're going to cede political power? You think they're going to cede political power to people who are idealistic? They'll never cede political power. But what they'll do also is they will continue. They will continue to to simply deceive people. They will continue to simply deceive people. They will continue to simply say, "Oh yeah, this we're going to abolish ICE, right?" Oh, and then that's not happening. And all they do is focus on Roger Stone now. Before it was Manafort, Papadopoulos, Flynn. Nothing to do with Trump. Just nothing to do with Trump. Nothing to do with Medicare for all. So you have two opposite ends of the equation. You have Trump, who the left hates, and then you have Medicare for all, the left loves. And this myth has nothing to do with either. Russian hacking that never took place is the only thing Democrats care about, because it's their only avenue to political power. They lost $1.2 billion with Hillary Clinton. They had the biggest political catastrophe of all time. They lost to Trump, and they saved face. And Bernie Sanders is helping them save face. So there you go. There you go. And definitely check out my Beto O'Rourke brought up. Check out my my RT segment. It's right here. Ebenezer Adams. I hope new. See, wipe sleep clean. Yep. And starts again, stripping immunity deals, and then let the rebar, the rebar investigations. Right. Attorney General. Yeah. Thank you, Young Phenom. Thank you so very much, Young Phenom. Thank you. Ebenezer Adams. Thank you, as always, for watching, Ebenezer Adams. The new Attorney General. The new Attorney General. The new Attorney General will hopefully do something to flip the script. And you have you have a fantasy. You have a fantasy here. The fantasy is that and I love the comments. Like I'm looking at the comments on the RT. Like people either really like me or really hate me. They either like love me or hate me. It's kind of funny. The interesting thing is that thank you, Nocturne One. Thank you. The interesting thing here, thank you, Anne. The interesting thing here is that we're not really given any truth at all. We're not really given any truth at all. There is no truth given. All we're given now is a bunch of nonsense. Bro, Andrew, thank you. Thank you, Nocturne One. So we're given a bunch of nonsense. And at the end of the day, it's just a matter like the only way this will end. The only day, and it's really hilarious. Some people are saying, "Oh, HA sold out. He's a Trump now." It's like, well, I would rather have a I would rather have a president that brings home Americans from never-ending conflict. Do you notice that on the left, there is zero, aside from hating on Israel, there is zero discussion of bringing Americans home. All I grew up with in the 80s was these like Vietnam protesters who were like, end the war, peace, we helped end the war with the protests. It's like, they're not talking about we have endless military interventions and conflicts. Endless. Isn't it a progressive issue? I'm not a progressive anymore, but isn't it an issue that should be championed by the left to bring home Americans? And then I made the point, it's true, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez doesn't have any legislation she's pushing. She's not pushing any legislation. They're not pushing any legislation, so definitely check out my RT segment, ladies and gentlemen. Mitchell Smith. Most of us logical people know that Mueller probe is a subterfuge and a diversion to hide facts of what crime. Yes, exactly. Thank you for exposing through repetition. Thank you, Mitchell Smith. I do. That's my only way to stay sane. I got to repeat. Hillary Clinton transferred special access program intelligence from SeparatNet from JWIX onto an unencrypted server, which Ebenezer Adams and the Yahtzee helped explain how she did that. Oh, no. You guys helped explain. Yeah, how she transferred the that was interesting. Ebenezer Adams and the Yahtzee. That was interesting. I remember that. Bro Andrew, thank you. Bro Andrew and Mitchell Smith. Just have a great day. Have a great week. Everyone have a great weekend. Look, January was slow. We have the government shutdown, and February, I believe, there's going to be a paradigm shift eventually, and it has to be when William Barr gets into office. Mitchell Smith, thank you. Bro Andrew, thank you. There has to be, because this stuff with Roger Stone. Like, here's my point about Roger Stone. You can't, you can't, this is what you can't do. You can't go ahead and pretend that you're close to Julian Assange and WikiLeaks and lie about it, because he wasn't close to Julian Assange and WikiLeaks. He was not close to Julian Assange and WikiLeaks. They didn't need Roger Stone or Corsi or anyone. They didn't need Roger Stone or Corsi or anyone. They published thousands upon thousands upon thousands upon thousands of emails. Thousands of emails. Tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands before the DNC and Podesta emails. Why would they need Roger Stone? For what? What benefit could Julian Assange possibly derive? What benefit? WikiLeaks has a pretty simple model. A pretty simple model of what they do. It's not complicated. Whistleblowers go to them and they publish whistleblowers. They publish what others would not publish. That's pretty much it. They don't need anything else. They do not need. Hey, I'm on the thumbnail. It's pretty cool, of Crosstalk. They do not need anything else. They don't need anything else. And I want, what I would like is for somebody, not just Rand Paul, like, who defends WikiLeaks? Rand Paul, not Bernie Sanders. Isn't that funny? Isn't that interesting? How are you going to get, like you get people on the left who are like so moral, they pretend they're so morally superior. They have hundreds of thousands of subs. They're so morally superior. Based on what? Based on the fact that they've completely forgotten about Julian Assange and WikiLeaks, that are too frightened. They're too frightened to defend Julian Assange. The truth is that the Democratic Party cheated. Hillary Clinton committed crimes. They lost because of the two. Trump won because he spoke to people about a bunch of issues that had nothing to do with racism. Absolutely nothing. Do I agree with what Trump said regarding, they're bringing this or that? No, but he mentioned within that speech, yeah, there's, very good people who are coming as well. But see, the way he stated it was not the way I was stated. Is it the epitome of, is it Hillary Clinton calling black youth super predators? Which I explained. Clinton stated that. I said that on RT's Crosstalk. He never stated anything as bad as that. What did Trump say that is worse than what Hillary Clinton said? Trump should have ended this when he had the chance, when he had a Republican House, and he should have said, I have the declassified documents. Go ahead, give me your best, make whatever allegation you want and prove it. Prove it. This has gone on way too long. And it's just an exercise of state power at the behest of the DNC. Ebenezer Adams, if you want to know the Clinton power, the IRS must be cleaned out. They weaponized it in 93 and use it against enemies and still do. Ebenezer Adams. Yeah, well, yeah. Ebenezer Adams. Tina Bobina. I missed an opportunity to cheer on Roger. I wished I went. It caught me off guard, but not CNN. Very nearby me, though, in Broward again. Tina Bobina. Thank you. Mitchell Smith, thank you. Ebenezer Adams, Tina Bobina, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much. I will see you, of course, today numerous times. It's just, it's just so annoying to me. This is so annoying to me. This is so annoying. It's so annoying because you have yet another you have yet another fake, ridiculous, dumb, fabricated event that is being utilized simply to further nonsense. Wingless Angel, we love you. Hope all is well. Definitely check out my RT segment. It's going to be below, and I just shared it right now. Dave Whalen, hello. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, wow. Trump agrees to reopen government for 3 weeks in surprise retreat. Here we go. In surprise retreat from wall. Trump announces deal to reopen government. President Trump agreed Friday to reopen the federal government for 3 weeks while negotiations proceed over how to secure the nation's southwest border, backing down from a month-long standoff. From a month-long failed to force Democrats to give him billions for the wall. Decision to pay for it. Well, yeah. It's good the government's reopened. It's bad that, very bad that he hasn't gotten a deal about the wall. So we'll see. Trump agrees to reopen government. For 3 weeks. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully he can use those 3 weeks to get what he wants. I think then the government workers get paid. They should get paid all the money they haven't. Thank you so very much. I'll see you today. Thanks, everyone, to my super chat. Thank you so much. Thank you.